So it's gonna be two-handed. All right. Hello, everyone. Right now, you could see me, you could see my team. Welcome to this Young Professionals workshop. Mostly here, we have our affinity group chairs, and it is envisioned as an interactive workshop. We're really gonna split to the teams, and we're gonna do a little bit of the brainstorming session. So it's not gonna be as another session of the Congress. It's gonna be a little bit slightly different. Okay, but before that, I'm gonna go a little bit through the presentation so you can see what's really going on with us. All right, let me, just a moment. I'm switching between many computers, so that is the part I'm gonna, okay. All right, sorry, Ines, I wanted to add you again, but I can't. Okay, so the session title is Tool Up in a Virtual World, Volunteering Training. So it will be delivered by our team of the Region 8 Young Professionals, and here we here on the graphics and also trying to be in the chat together with you. We have many people here. We have 45 in total, and people are still coming in. But mainly this one is made for the people who would like to be volunteers in affinity groups, and in particular affinity group chairs. Okay, so let me back to the presentation. So Region 8, this is what it is. If you remember the presentation from the opening, we have 53 Young Professionals Affinity Groups. We have most of you here with us. And the orange is part where we still have to extend to. So right now we are the blue ones. How big we are in exactly. So that will be this photo. So if you see all the regions, 1 to 10, you can see that Region 8 is taking the most of the money from IEEE Young Professionals program, which is, yeah, not only the funding, but also the number of activities. So we are approximately 1/3. Why is that? I think it's because of the previous leadership who really kicked off the program very soon, together with everything else. So we have a question from Reza. Will I provide slides afterward? Yes, we will. Okay, so and one of the most important volunteers, this is for the last year. We have Piotr and we have Croatia section. And the new ones from 2019, given in the 2020, they will be announced on Saturday. So stay with us. We have received your applications. We're gonna select a few and we're gonna announce the awards for 2020. Well, 2020. Okay, so how do we operate? Is our team is dividing the sections between us, the affinity groups, and each of us is taking care of some of the of our sections as well. So you can see some are a bit better squeezed, but in the end, we all have from 4 to 6 sections that we are taking care of. Well, this was the usual timing. It's a little bit different this year, but it's not a problem anymore. So what is important is that we have our IEEE Young Professionals program. And with that, we can attract up to $2,750. I think you already took part of that, and you have 3 of them. It's STEP, Student Transition and Elevation Partnership, really aiming for students to elevate into first-year employees. The second one is called Meetup. This is the one that we really love. It's making a party next to a conference. Not just any party, but really some kind of technical networking event in the cozy ambience together with all the conference participants, not only young professionals. And people really like it. They're striking really well on this side. If you remember the funding, the majority is going to the meetups. We had 13 last year, indeed, in the whole region. And the last one is seed funding. Seed funding is actually whatever you would like to do in your affinity group. we are very fine with that. You just ask for the funding and you will get 750. Meetups are 1,500 and step is $500. So how do you apply with it? I will just make you a little bit of live demo. So you just put IEEE funding YP funding opportunities. Okay, so you get this website. I will put it on a link, and then you will go and you can check it every time you wish to. Okay, let me just put enter so you can see. Yeah, it's loading a little bit. It might be that it's even closed down. But in general, this is our main funding portal, and we do all the applications through here. All the opportunities are given here, and you have the instructions how to do it. And you go through it and you read it. So what happens really in the COVID situation, you can still apply for the funding. You just need to be a bit more creative because many things are not allowed, like traveling. So just be sure to send us an email before. And the other thing that's really good, so far the funding portal has been closing in, let's say, November and then opening again in February. But from this year, the young professionals are striving to keep it open through this period as well. So at this point, you will be able to apply in December and also in January, which is really good. For example, Tunisian SIP Congress of 1,000 people always had a problem with that. You guys, now, if it wasn't for the COVID, you might already apply for it. All right, back to the presentation. So this is the funding. This is what you need. The other part, what you need to stay on the green side of our lists. So we are always dividing you in the grid and the red category with 2 reds, 1 red, 1 green, 2 greens. So this is how we monitor you. The team that I have presented, each of the affinity groups that we are taking care of, we are monitoring your reports, your progress, and everything. So most of you are green, which was especially challenging in the COVID times, but still you did a good job in the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020. So the 2 things you need to do to stay on the green side is to have officers that are really actual, that have been not later than 2 years on the same position. If it's happened that it's over 2 years, you need to do elections. And you can have it in 4 consecutive years or 6 years altogether in 1 position. So that means you can be chair for 4 consecutive years or 6 years in total. You can be the vice chair in the same way, and secretary or treasurer. But you can also be vice chair 2 years, then chair 2 years, then secretary 2 years, and then treasurer for 4 years, then again vice chair for 4 more years, and so on and so on. But definitely at some point you will not stop feeling like a young professional, which doesn't mean that you are not allowed to be a young professional anymore. It just means that you're gonna climb higher in the section because everybody needs very good volunteers, and that also means very experienced ones. So 4 years in young professionals is really good enough for you to climb higher in the section hierarchy, call it that way. Another part, what is really important, is to have at least 2 group interest meetings every year. So what is that? That could be coffee time for the volunteers, for the executive committee, for example, 4 of you or 6 of you, or even better, 15 of you, where you are talking about your next event. So this is what we call administrative meeting. This session that we have, if it was organized by your affinity group, then it would also be a technical event, and you need to report it as well. So how do you report the things? I will not go through the details. I will just show you the same way as I did for this side. So if you go to, okay, let me put, if you go to Google and if you write IEEE Region 8 Young Professionals, and you say, well, to me it's the first one, but I guess it should also be with you. This is our official website of the Region 8 Young Professionals. Yes, we have one indeed. And you can see, for example, committee contact. If you click on here, you can see our committee, and then below you have table of all your Young Professionals Affinity Group chairs. So we try to keep this updated. So if you notice something that is off, just let us know. But back to the reporting part, we have also the one tab. It's called Useful Links. And here you have a lot of very nice things how to do. So you can, for example, do OU analytics guidelines if you wish to find out who your members are in the affinity group. You just go click here and there is a PDF. You can see how it works. Well, this is in effect link, but sometimes you have other things as well, like report form, officer reporting form, funding portal, and some all the other things and so on. Membership development manual, and etc. Many good things are happening there. Yes, and always if you have a question, just send us an email, and one from the people who are trusted with your affinity group, they will get in contact with you very promptly. And okay, and that's it. Once you do the event, you have to report it. Try to report it as soon as possible, and by all means do it by the end of the year. Why? Because you get rebate, which is $200 or $270 if you are really active. Really active means 6 events or more. And it works that they verify it for the previous year. And if you had two technical or, sorry, two any kind of events, you get $200. If you don't have anything, then it's a problem. Not only that you will not get $200, you will be put to a probation list, and then finally, if you stick on for a few years, your affinity group will be dissolved. Right now, Originate is doing really well, but we have 2 affinity groups on our probation list. These are the affinity groups with other problems, with some country problems. So it's not easy to do the volunteering while the situation is not safe to do the volunteering. But anyway, you are doing a really good job. So if you are not, your section chair are doing a really good job. Okay, and I just noticed we have a little logo here that's a tribute to Student and Young Professional 2018 Congress. Well, that was all before. That will be again in the times to come after this epidemic situation. But what do we do now? Obviously, you have asked your question many times this year. At first, we were waiting for the situation to clear up in the second half of the year, but it's not happening. And obviously, COVID will stick on for a while, for let's say, realistic or optimistic cases, say summer 2021. So we have to do our 2 events. They did not be cut slack to us, so you have to do the 2 events here. And what you can do, sometimes you can meet in person, you can organize lectures in person, but in most cases, this means virtual events, like we are having right now, virtual Congress. So this is the accommodation to the current time. It will not get better by the end of the year. IEEE forbids traveling right now. It might be possible that they enable it sometime, but with the second wave of COVID-19 on the rise, I doubt it will happen. Anyway, so we can sit and wait to everything clear, but I guess you're not the people who sit and wait, are you? Well, you wouldn't be volunteering, and you wouldn't be volunteering long enough to become a Young Professionals Affinity Group chairs, or whatever your officers you are in IEEE. So we are doing something about it, and just a little bit story what our team did. Well, we were devastated. Everything was either canceled or postponed and canceled again, or more cancellations, no travel, reimbursements from Polish air tickets not happening still. But it was a very dense time in the first half of 2020. And at some point, everything started to become virtual. So we sit a little bit together and say, okay, what we need to do. And the first part, let's show the people that you are not alone, wherever you are. So we kicked off this home offices program in April, and we gathered 36 photos from 22 countries. And really, the work is very much still getting done. That's what we are all saying out very loudly. And right now, you can see some of the offices, you can see some of the unpublished photos as well. So this is really our regular way of working. It's not like we have perfect conditions either. But some of the offices were really tiny and really, how to say, not on the professional way as we would like to put it on Instagram. Okay, but that doesn't mean we are not working. We are working even more than we did before. And then this was the engagement part. The second one was reshaping our program of connecting experts into virtual way. And you have participated already in it. I will go through this a little bit more. We are utilizing the power of social media. We have many followers there. So this is, for example, obsolete number. Right now it's almost reaching 5,000 followers, happening in the last few months, and so on and so on. So how does it look? It's webinars, it was in WebEx, it was broadcasted on social media, and the best thing of everything is that we involved you into organizing it yourself. So you can see some tiny organizational unit flags, such as Sweden section, for example. There is a Turkey section, there is Norway, and many more. So thank you everyone really for giving your contribution to this program. Okay, apart from affinity groups, we had women in engineering, we have IEEE standards, we have microwave theories and techniques society, we have communication society, and many, many more. So this was example in May and June, this was July, and I summed it up. We had 17,000 views as I announced it on the opening session of the Congress. So what the people are interested in, you can see our internal thing that really people would mostly like to hear the technical presentation here during COVID times. But still, if you make a technical one, you will attract 50 people. If you make a wide topic, you will attract 200 people. You know, this is because technical parts are really narrow. Okay, let's go a little bit further. You have IEEE Young Professionals Flavia's committee, lots of webinars, the instructional and team building ones. I sent you an email at the beginning of the year. If you wish to find out more, just let us know and we will invite you again. And then we did the entrepreneurship part. This was a lucky coincidence because we had competition phase in the social media, and it was really coinciding with the first wave of COVID-19 situation. And if you remember, or if you are hearing it the first time about it, initiative is parted into 3 programs. One is Entrepreneurship Week, where you make your local content in your sections in the November of every year. And 3 of the best ones you put in the common pool of Region 8. And then our committee chooses the 3 best ones. Well, in this case, it was 4 best ones. And then there is also a social media competition stage where we pick 2 more best or 3 more best, startups in this case. So this was the committee. These are the startups that have been chosen. And you can see, for example, we have reached to more than 150 people on Facebook. If you remember, IEEE has a little bit more than 400,000 members, so it's quite a huge number for us. So the startups are entering mentorship phase, and then we are finally bringing that to the finals. But while waiting for that, Egypt organized a wonderful thing called Site Quarantine Hackathon, which finally included 11 sections altogether. Meanwhile, the entrepreneurship is also giving some kind of discounts organized by us. There will be many more. It was envisioned to be many more. These are, for example, summits that we were aiming at. So this one is, since the summits are not holding, this will be postponed to 2021, but it will still be happening, definitely. So the finals of the entrepreneurship, it just happened yesterday. We will have the winners announced very soon, and also as part of the awards ceremony on Saturday. These are the judges. I hope you recognize some of the names. They're really good global entrepreneurs and technical expert, commercialization of the research experts, and so on. So that was happening yesterday. You can see it as part of this crowdcast platform. All right, and in 2020, we are kicking off again with the ambassadors with the Entrepreneurship Week. If you remember, so the local sections, and this year we have 60 ambassadors in 30 countries. So it's really scaling up. And everything is bringing us together to this virtual SIP Congress. And if you can see, we are using the Crowdcast platform, but we really examined many more. In total, 70 different platforms. And you can see this. There was a presentation by IEEE MCE. I will put it on our website, or if you are interested, just send us an email and we will let you know this part. I will send this presentation together with the MCE tools review to all Affinity Group chairs. All right. So you can see why use Crowdcast, why use WebEx, why use Zoom, why not use Zoom, and why not use WebEx, and why not use Crowdcast, and so on. So pros and cons for the 70 different tools. And what we do as well from our communities, we are using broadcasting software called ManyCam in this case. But there is also a free version. It's called OBS. That means Open Broadcasting Software, if I remember. No, Studio OBS. Okay, so this is a bit, we try to play for a while with this, and we are now going to the skipping from the introductory part to the really hard work brainstorming session done by you in your teams, and for that, it's entitled Volunteering Tomorrow. So what does it mean? We're gonna do this kind of thing, but not in a person, but in a virtual way. By the way, this is a photo from Cross-Sectional Congress, Central European Congress in Novi Sad. So that was one of the last events we had in person. Hold on, there were a few more after that. But definitely we're going to do it in this workshop style, however it goes, however many times the technology breaks us. But I would really love you to see each other through webcams. And for that, we're going to make you a lot of parallel teleconferencing rooms where you can join and try to brainstorm something. So this something will be a program that you've seen that is working really well, or some kind of tips and tricks that have been working really well in this COVID-19 situation. Well, that means that they are working well in the virtual world, but it also with the aim that it's going to work well after the COVID times. So, for example, the webinars as we are doing that, or the virtual congress that we are doing it, we may choose to proceed further with that even after the COVID situation ends. Why? Because it enables us to get NASA speaker in 2 days for this part of the Congress, which would be really hard to do it in person, or which would be either costly for us or for NASA, or for most probably for IEEE society who is doing that. Okay, so this is the thing. So imagine this is one part, getting to the Congress, which is happening one every 2 years, but you can do the same with your own sections. You can bring renowned speakers from all over the world. And I'm sure you already practiced it a little bit. I know a few cases that really made it. Okay, so we're gonna split in groups. Well, we see depending on the number of people, how many groups we have. Let me just check the number. Okay, we have too many people, but it will be very nice to see. So we will make your few groups. We will post it in the chat, and you just join some of that you wish. Don't all of you go for the first one. Try to do the random pick, and then after a while we will try to reschedule the number of participants. So let's say 10 people per, not 10, let's say 7 people per group. Okay, just give me a moment. I have to tend to my other computer to give you this part of chat.
Sorry, Vinko, can I just step in for a second?
Yes, Almedin, please do.
Hi, guys, or good evening already. Just a short question or information. As Vinko already mentioned, this was more mandatory for young professional affinity group chairs or representatives. And probably you received some emails from us that this is really important for us to join. And due to that, I would like to ask all the affinity group chairs or representatives to fill up this table or form that I just gave you in the link. This is only for internal reporting how many of our affinity group chairs or representatives join us today. So if you are Young Professional Affinity Group chair or representative in this case, please fill up this. Everyone else, you should not, because it will be more confused for us how to track later. Yeah, that would be all. Thanks.
Okay.
That's all right. I think Manuel has shared some interesting link in the chat about our social media handle. Feel free to connect and also follow us on Instagram and as well on LinkedIn. I see other affinity groups also sharing their LinkedIn profile as well as Barros profile. Feel free to connect with everyone and also let's have fun with the workshop. Manu, do you want to share the links, the social media links, Facebook and Instagram handle?
Okay, I have made copy-pasted your tree and add one more.
I have one.
Let me 1 minute.
You have a question. Try to make a permission for this table so everybody.
Okay, just a second, guys. Sorry.
Okay, so we have 5 different rooms. Please join them. So this part is gonna be really quiet for a while. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put you to brainstorm for 20 more minutes there, and then we will come back to this session. And in this session, one of you is gonna present in front of everybody else. Okay, all clear? Almedin, Abdul, Manu, you guys clear with that?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Okay, let's make it 15 minutes for the sessions. So 19:55, Central European summertime. We come back here.
Okay, before we go, just please, can someone confirm that you can open now the form? Okay, I have a response, so I would say yes.
They have to click on the links. Yes, good to be back.
Okay, so that was wonderful.
Actually, it's just two of us, Ali and Nicoletta.
Guys, I will move now back to the normal crowd so that Vinko can invite one by one the guy who will represent the ideas.
Okay, so Ali will speak on behalf of your team. Abdul, if I understood correctly.
Ali is going.
Okay, let me invite him. Okay.
Hello again. My team has the presenter and the topic.
Okay, so I have invited you, Ali, and Hilary to the in front of everybody, so you can speak a little bit about what you did. Okay, Ali, would you like to go with it? Don't worry, it's only 1,200 people in front of you.
Yeah, hi, hello everyone. We during pandemic we have run some series of workshops for training students to use online learning platform through Zoom. We train them to use Microsoft Teams for online learning. And also we participate with the hackathon, COVID-19 hackathon. Also now we're planning with the entrepreneur, still working on it. We will have a session on Wednesday for representing Kuwait section, collaborating with the Kuwait student chapter. And we will have some talks about space. Programming and space. I'll invite you to attend this session. I think we have discussed with Abdul about using WebEx and how we can use it through getting an account from section chair. And that's it for me. And thank you for listening.
Hey man, could you please moderate further? I have to switch off my camera.
Yes, I can. I think is the best. Okay. Okay, perfect.
So I think the next team can present.
Yes, please. Tariq is from the team Yellow, and please feel free to present the idea.
I hope you can hear me clearly.
Try again, please.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, we do. Okay. So I would like to say hello in front of the team Yellow. We had quite a short discussion because we didn't really have a good time management and we didn't really figure out how short is this time frame to figure out these ideas. So since we are all in this COVID-related time and inside of this pandemic, all of the current events more or less sum up to some kind of online lecture, tutorial, workshop, or online meeting. But the thing that interests us, all of us, especially us as engineers, are the effects of COVID-19 on different aspects of our engineering life. And because of that, we figured up, we came with one kind of event that would incorporate 3 different COVID-related topics with the aim audience with all of engineers, not specifically for any branch of engineering. So the first lecture or workshop in this COVID-themed workshop would be the state of the art and the trends in the vaccine development, some kind of a topic that more or less interests all of us. The second one would be leadership skills to improve team performance during work from home era, because all of us currently cope with all kind of problems with the stay at home working environment, depression, and etc. So this event should include some kind of mental health improvement tips or some kind of psychological short talks with the participants. And the third one would be, third topic would be key learnings from the COVID period in terms of resource management, because that's the thing that is also some kind of problematic right now. So one event, 3 different topics that are more or less interesting to all fields of engineering. So that would be it.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tariq.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Really good, Tariq.
Well, we also have Hilary Crispo, and Hilary is from South Africa. Yeah, Cape Town, Young Professionals Affinity Groups. So Hilary, what have you guys discussed?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm representing originally Team Green number 2, but then other groups merged with us. So I'm representing more than just one group. We had a very short discussion on how to keep on volunteering effectively during COVID-19 times, because it's come with an increased workload. The limitations of not interacting with other people and working in isolation often ends up with you working for much longer than normal times. So you find that volunteering becomes a little bit more tricky to slot in the time, even though you actually want to be doing it, to take your mind off the technical stuff of work, to get some sort of self-fulfillment and relieve some stress by volunteering. There are a lot of benefits for volunteering. So what I found personally is that collaborating with the other IEEE affiliated groups in South Africa, like the IEEE section and IEEE SITE, which is the special interest group on humanitarian technology. We came together as I was elected as the IEEE chairman around March and April, came together the IEEE section chair and IEEE SITE. And the principal investigators actually came up with a tool that looks like this. So this tool was designed during the coronavirus. We called it the multi-tool because it helps and it's designed and don't have access to keep services clean. So you find a lot of communal taps that people can use to open the tap and close it without actually making contact. So this is the active part, and it gets shielded by this part, so that you never have to make contact with the service you're touching. You can press buttons with it. You can use the ATM with it. We collaborated with the police department, one of the poorer areas in Cape Town. It's actually like a township or a slum or a very poor community. And the police actually helped us to distribute the tools and translating to the locals how to use it, how to keep safe. what is the positive feedback lately, and the role of IEEE was to is continually to manage the logistics for mass distribution. And so I found that collaborating with other groups with similar interests, even during the coronavirus times, can help you to increase your effectiveness in volunteering. And through these collaborations, we're planning some events for the IEEE that will be happening in October and November. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm just glad that I don't have to work alone, and I'm still trying to volunteer, even though my workload is quite challenging. So that's what we discussed, and quite a few people also share the same sort of increased workload. Thank you.
Thank you, Hilary. Well, thank you, everyone. We are reaching the end of this session. It was really nice to try this. I mean, this is the first attempt we have ever been trying to do it. And yes, it was crazy. You can see how the time is really challenging in this virtual world. And the whole Congress is like that. It was organized, you know, you do the work, then you go back home and you do it in your home office, then you try to put something together that has never been done before. So this is really time for new technologies, definitely time for new ideas, and just keep up with that. If you don't think it was worth it, because it's really not the same as in person, I think everybody of us can agree for that. But still, it has its even own worth. So this is what we can do, and let's do that. I really end this with thank you, and thank you for Tariq, Hilary, and who was the first one? Ali, right. Thank you, guys. It was really nice to see you again. Hilary, I hope we're gonna meet in person one day. And for all of you, the rest, it was really nice to see your web cameras in the groups. Okay, we will stay at your disposal. You feel free to ask us any questions. We are in the same boat, everyone. So I'm gonna finish now. We have one more session of the Congress. It's relating to Denmark session. And right now I'm gonna close this one and you go and join that one. Okay, also the moderator will invite you, so you just click no. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye, thank you very much. See you.